Chapter 1. It was a sunny morning in Sunny Valley, which is how most mornings in Sunny Valley are. Ollo was sleeping peacefully, but now it was time for him to wake up. At first, Ollo didn't want to get up, but then he remembered that today was the day he was going to help his friend Rose in her garden. Ollo liked Rose a lot, and working in the garden was fun. He couldn't wait to get there. On the way to Rose's house, Ollo ran into his friend Lottie, who was having some trouble.
It's these fling-flanging balloons, Ollo.
Lottie was delivering a load of balloons to the big Sunny Valley Fair, but they kept floating away out of her truck.
If I just had something to hold the balloons and keep them in the truck while I'm driving, I'd be all right.
Ollo wondered if he might have something that could help her.
If I just had something to hold the balloons and keep them in the truck while I'm driving, I'd be all right.
Which group has one? Good job. Top, bottom, top, on, off, down, up.
Ollo kept the key to the backyard shed sitting on his table. He took the key with him. Ollo unlocked the shed with his key. The shed was where Ollo kept everything that was too big or too dirty to go in the house. Ollo found his old net hanging from a hook in the corner of his shed. He took it with him just in case. Ollo gave his net to Lottie to hold the balloons in the back of the truck.
Thanks a lot, Ollo. That's perfect. Now I can take these babies to the fair.
Lottie was not the best driver in Sunny Valley, but she was the fastest. Now that he'd helped his friend Lottie with her balloon problem, Ollo was finally ready to go work with Rose in her garden. Chapter 2. Ollo was going to help Rose in her garden.
Ollo, I'm so glad you're here.
Rose was very glad to see Ollo. She couldn't wait to tell him about her special project for the Sunny Valley Fair.
We're going to grow the biggest tomato this valley has ever seen. It's sure to win first prize.
Rose tended to get very excited when she was talking about tomatoes or contests. Now, Rose couldn't leave her garden.
I've got to keep an eye on my baby carrots.
So she needed Ollo to bring her some things.
Here, take a look at this list.
Ollo needed to find Rose a rake, a tomato seed, and a watering can so she could grow her tomato.
Now hurry and find me those things so we can get going on this tomato.
Ollo still needed to find Rose a rake, a tomato seed, and a watering can so she could grow her tomato. Rose had an issue of Seed Fancier magazine in her mailbox. Inside was an article about a new type of tomato called Red Thunder. Ollo decided he should take the magazine with him.
2, 4, 6, 8. Which group has more? Good job.
Ollo said hello to his friend Penny, an interior decorator who lived in the woods.
Hi, Ollo. It's nice to see you.
Penny was always rearranging her nest, even though she didn't have any furniture.
I've got to get the angles between the sticks just right.
Which one is the biggest? That's correct.
That won't work there. Ollo thought he might visit his friend Wally, but the gate was closed and no one was home. Ollo thought he might visit...
Big. small.
Ollo showed Rose the magazine he'd found.
Red Thunder! That's it! That's the kind of tomato we want to grow.
The path towards the swamp was blocked. Ollo found Rose's favorite watering can out near Lemonade Creek. Rose was always leaving things around and forgetting where she put them.
3.
The drawbridge was up to let some swans pass by. Ollo thought they were very pretty. Ollo gave the seed magazine to Farmer Franklin and told him that he and Rose wanted to grow a tomato like the one in the article.
Red Thunder? You sure about this, Ollo? Those are awful big.
Ollo said that awful big was exactly what they wanted, so Farmer Franklin gave him a seed.
Let's see now, where's that seed? Ah, here it is. Red Thunder.
The seed was almost as big as a normal tomato.
You be careful now, Ollo. These tomatoes are still experimental.
2. Count to 33. 3. 6. 9. 12. 15. 18. 21. 24. 27. 30. 33. Correct.
You be sure and let me know how it's going with that seed now, Ollo.
Ollo said he would. Ollo still needed to find Rose a rake so she could grow her tomato.
You be sure and let me know how it's going with that seed now, Ollo.
Ollo said he would.
You be sure and let me know how it's going with that seed now, Ollo.
Ollo said he would.
2.
Ollo found Rose's rake over at the fairgrounds. He decided someone must have borrowed it while they were setting up the fair. Ollo gave Rose the rake.
Thanks, Ollo. We'll need that to grow our super colossal tomato for the fair.
Ollo has found everything Rose needs to grow the tomato. Ollo gave Rose the tomato seed he'd gotten from Farmer Franklin.
Oh boy, thanks. We're almost ready to grow that tomato now.
Ollo has found everything Rose needs to grow the tomato. Ollo gave Rose the watering can.
That's everything we need. Okay, Ollo, let's grow ourselves a tomato. There! Now comes the hard part. We wait for it to grow.
They didn't have to wait long. Red Thunder tomatoes are not only large, they also grow very fast.
Gee, maybe this is a little bit too big. Look out!
The giant tomato began rolling through Sunny Valley, causing all sorts of problems. Rose was somewhat concerned about the situation.
Oh no, it's It's a disaster, an absolute disaster, and it's all my fault. Oh, no.
Ollo told her not to worry and said he would go find out if anyone needed help.
Okay, that's good. Yes, very good. I'd better stay here in case the tomato comes back.
Chapter 3. As it turned out, there was someone who needed Ollo's help. That someone was a clown named Blimpo.
Oh me, oh my.
Blimpo was upset. Ollo asked what was the matter.
I was just outside minding my own business, practicing some of my clown tricks, when all of a sudden this big tomato came along.
The tomato had knocked off Blimpo's hilarious orange-colored clown wig, and now he couldn't find it.
People will see my head. Oh, this is awful.
Ollo said he would help look for the wig. This seemed to make Blimpo a bit happier, but not much.
You're not looking at my head, are you?
Igloo. Repeat after me. B. Blue. Moon.
The midway at the fair was still being set up. The fair was still being set up, so people weren't allowed inside quite yet. Ollo found a stick by the pond. He took it with him. You can never have too many sticks. The path into the swamp was flooded, like it usually was early in the day.
Move the bugs around until each bush has the same number of bugs. Click on the bug to make it fly to the other bush. 2 on each bush. Good job.
Ollo found a stick near the drawbridge. He took it with him. You never know when a good stick might come in handy. Ollo's friend Muriel Moose was working on a big sculpture near the Sunny Valley Quarry.
I've never done one quite this big before.
That doesn't work there.
My tools are everywhere. I'll move them in a few minutes so you can get by.
Muriel was busy working on her sculpture, so Ollo knew a minute could mean a really long time. Some kids were playing baseball on the field. Ollo decided he'd better not interrupt their game. Ollo asked his friend Wally if he'd seen a fairly large tomato around anywhere.
Matey? No, not much call for those in cakes. Not these days, anyhow.
Wally was baking something for the cake contest at the fair. He was known all over the valley for his delicious cakes.
Loud!
Ollo's friend Penny was not happy.
Oh, Ollo, it's awful. This big tomato came bouncing by and smashed my beautiful nest, and now I'm stuck living in this...
It was Blimpo's orange-colored wig. Penny did not like it. Did I mention that she was an interior decorator?
It's just so tacky.
Penny said that she'd much rather rebuild her nest of sticks than live in the wig.
But I definitely need all the original sticks back, and I have no idea where they landed. Oh, dear.
Ollo wanted to give a stick to Penny, but she was way up in the tree. Ollo was a good jumper, but not that good. Ollo wanted to give a stick to Penny, but she was way up in the tree. Ollo was a good jumper, but not that good. Ollo found a stick out behind his house. He picked it up. Ollo liked a tidy backyard.
Blue. Green. Match the worms that are the top, on, bottom, open.
Ollo, there you are. Did you find anything? Is the tomato all right?
Ollo explained about Blimpo's wig and said he was helping him to get it back again.
Oh, dear. Is the tomato all right?
The vine for the Red Thunder tomato sure was big. Ollo wanted to give a stick to Penny, but she was way up in the tree. Ollo was a good jumper, but not that good.
Front.
Ollo asked Wally how his cake was coming along.
It'll be a while. These sassafras cakes take time, but they sure are tasty.
Ollo asked Wally how his cake was coming along.
It'll be a while. These sassafras cakes take time, but they sure are tasty.
Open. Loud. Quiet. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Midway at the fair was still being set up. Blimpo was still rather upset. Ollo told him that he had located the missing wig, but he had to figure out how to get it down from the tree.
Well, that's something, I guess.
That won't work there.
Repeat after me. Bird. Bug.
Ollo asked Muriel what she was carving.
It's a statue of Alfred de Musset, the famous French poet.
Muriel read a lot of books when she wasn't sculpting things, some of them in French. Ollo asked Muriel if he could borrow her ladder.
Sure, Ollo. The top is pretty much done, so I won't be needing the ladder for a while.
That doesn't work there. Ollo wanted to give a stick to Penny, but she was way up in the tree. Ollo was a good jumper, but not that good. Ollo set up Muriel's ladder so he could climb up into the tree. Ollo gave Penny 3 sticks.
It's the sticks from my nest. This is terrific. Now I can move back in. Goodbye, ugly wig. Thanks a lot, Ollo. It's great to have my nest back. I wonder if I should get some furniture someday.
Ollo took Blimpo's wig with him. He didn't think it was ugly at all. In fact, he rather liked it. Ollo returned Blimpo's hilarious orange-colored wig.
This is wonderful!
Blimpo was very happy.
I can't thank you enough. I feel funnier already. Whoops, that's not right. Tell you what, pull my... Say, do you hear something? Oh, no! Not again!
Cracky.
Unfortunately, it looks like the trouble with the giant tomato isn't quite over. Chapter 4. As he passed by the house where Wally lived, he heard a terrible racket.
Concern persnickety Jim-crack piece of junk.
It was Wally.
Useless, wobbly, tin-plated bacon jalopy.
Wally explained to Ollo that he had been baking a special cake for the decorating contest at the fair.
But then there was some sort of hoodoo earthquake or something, and my beautiful prize-winning cake fell on over and got itself ruined.
Ollo started to explain that it had been a tomato, not an earthquake, but Wally wasn't finished.
And if that weren't enough, this old 2-bit stove has fallen apart on me too. Now I gotta fix my stove and start my cake from the beginning again.
Ollo offered to help. He liked making cakes almost as much as he liked eating them.
Well, now, that's right neighborly of you, Ollo. I tell you what, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret.
Wally explained that the reason his cakes were always so much more delicious than anyone else's was that he always used exactly the right amount of sugar.
3 cups. You gotta use exactly 3 cups of sugar. Knock me down and call me Mother Hubbard. I'm clean out of sugar.
He gave Ollo a measuring cup and asked him to go and get some sugar.
3 cups. If you see a good tool for fixing the stove, you might bring that along as well.
gotten quite a bit done for one day's work. Maybe I'll give myself a raise.
There were a lot of rocks laying around out by the rock pit, blocking the path. There were a lot of rocks laying around out by the rock pit, blocking. There were a lot of rocks laying around out by the rock pit, blocking the path. Some kids were playing baseball on the field. Ollo decided he'd better not interrupt their game. Ollo found an old screwdriver out in the swamp. He decided to take it with him in case someone had a screw loose, which was a common problem in Sunny Valley. There was a blacksmith shop next to the swamp, but it was closed while the owner ate lunch. The cotton candy machine at the fair had a whole lot of sugar in it for making cotton candy. 1 cup, 2 cups, 3 cups. The measuring cup has 3 cups of sugar in it. Ollo gave Wally the sugar he'd gotten from the cotton candy machine.
That there is a prize-winning cake batter if I ever tasted one. Now, if only the stove was working, we could bake us a cake.
Ollo used his screwdriver to fix the stove.
Well, I'll be, Ollo. You're a regular handyman. Thanks for fixing my stove. What do you say we bake us a cake? Perfect! Now let's decorate it on up for the fair.
Better remove some decorations before any more go on. Ollo liked the way the cake looked and thought maybe it was ready for the contest at the fair. Do you think it's ready now?
Yes, sirree, Ollo. This is a real nice cake. I think we're sure to win first prize at the fair.
Just then, the giant tomato rolled by again. Ollo chased after it. It looks like Ollo's in a little bit of trouble. Chapter 5. Fortunately for Ollo, the giant tomato missed him completely and got stuck in some rocks. He wondered what Rose would want to do about her tomato now. Up on the rim of the quarry pit was a very, very heavy boulder with a notch on the bottom. Up on the rim of the quarry pit was a very... Ollo's friend Lottie was out by the quarry, which was strange since it wasn't on any of her usual delivery routes.
Yeah, I took a wrong turn on the way to the fair and I got a little lost. Could have happened to anybody.
To make matters worse, while she was driving on the rough ground, she had a problem with one of her wheels.
It just fell right off.
Apparently, the nut that was supposed to hold the wheel on had come off somewhere.
I can't find that fling-flanging nut anywhere, Ollo. Let me know if you happen to see one. Sure wish I suppose I could order a new nut through the mail, but that would take forever.
There was a nut down deep in the pond where Ollo couldn't reach it. He thought it must be the nut from Lottie's truck. Bronny was the Sunny Valley blacksmith, which meant that he made and fixed things that were metal. Ollo asked him what he was working on.
Nothing. Just testing out a new hammer.
Bronny uses the stove to heat his metal pieces. The stove was very hot. Ollo said he had no idea it took so long to test a hammer.
Hammer's fine. I just like doing this.
Ollo asked Bronny if he was getting tired.
Nope.
Bronny uses the stove to heat...
Which one of these does not belong? Good job.
Ollo borrowed a magnetic fishing pole from one of the games at the fair. He would bring it back later. Ollo didn't know much about fishing, but it only took him one try to get the nut out of the pond. Ollo used the nut he'd found to fix Lottie's wheel.
Hot dog, Ollo, you fixed my truck. Well, I'd love to stick around, but I've got to get to the fair.
Lottie had forgotten her jack when she drove off. Ollo took it with him in case he ran into her. Ollo decided to use Lottie's jack to move the enormous boulder. The tomato was launched into the air, narrowly missing a weather helicopter and a flock of geese. It looked like it was headed straight for the fair. Chapter 6. Ollo decided he'd better go see where it landed. Quickly, he tracked it to the roller coaster at the fair, which was being tested by the chief roller coaster operator, Sophie Woldrick.
It was working just fine until this big tomato fell on it.
Sophie was stuck. She explained that Ollo could use the roller coaster control levers to get both her and the tomato down. But unfortunately, the roller coaster was broken.
The primary flux transmission gear flew off and cracked in half.
One piece of the gear was lying on the ground nearby. Ollo picked it up.
I'm not sure where the other half went. You'll have to find it and stick them back together. Then you can fix the coaster.
Ollo said he would help.
This one has a nice firm texture, but it's a bit lacking in the size department. Let's see. This contestant has a lovely color, but it's simply not large enough to be a real prize winner. Let's see. I like the scent of this one, but a champion has got to be big. Let's see. This contestant has a lovely color, but it's simply not large enough to be a real prize winner.
Ollo, there you are. Thank goodness. Where's the tomato?
Ollo explained about the roller coaster.
Oh no, this is a disaster. You've got to get it down. They've already started the judging.
Ollo said he'd get it down as quick as he could.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
The frog at the dunk tank introduced himself as Clyde Emerson William Edward Montague Wallingford.
But you may call me Prince Clyde, if you wish.
Prince Clyde was 719th in line for the throne of England.
I say, whatever you do, you mustn't push the target yourself. One must hit it with a baseball. That's how the game works.
Some kids who'd been playing baseball on the field had left their ball behind. Ollo took it with him.
A most excellent shot, sir. Well done.
Ollo picked up the other half of the roller coaster gear.
I must say, I can't imagine what you'd want with that old thing.
Ollo picked up the baseball for another try. Ollo gave Bronny the two halves of the roller coaster gear and asked if he could fix it.
Sure, piece of cake. Here you go, son. Good as new.
Ollo thanked Bronny for helping him.
No charge.
Ollo put the primary flux transmission gear back where it belonged.
Hey, nice going. Now all you have to do is set those control levers in the right positions, and I can get down from here.
Middle, 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 down, 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 middle, up, down.
Say, that was fun. I hope you didn't want that tomato for anything.
And what have we here? Invisible tomato? Microscopic tomato? Imaginary tomato? Or did you just get hungry and eat it?
Well, the thing is, my tomato is sort of,
Ollo was about to break the news to Rose that her tomato had been catapulted all the way to France when something extraordinary happened.
It's right here is what it is. Ollo, you did it!
My stars! That's a whopper! I'm going to give it first prize.
Oh, this is so wonderful! I don't know what to say.
Just then, Wally arrived. His cake had won first prize in the decorating contest, and he was eager to show it off to everyone.
Greetings, all. Take a gander at salivating crawdaddies. That's one big tomato.
Thank you. Ollo helped me grow it.
Did he? He helped me make my cake, too. By cracky, that Ollo is a fine fella.
He's the best.
I'm inclined to agree.
Quit. Do you really want to leave us? Okay, see you next time.